Welcome back to Understanding Residential Permit Drawings. This is video 4 in the series. In this video we're going to talk about exterior elevations. Within the exterior elevations, really the big purposes of, or the main focus of exterior elevations are to show materials, so you could find out total quantity takeoffs from that siding. You get a good look at the roof details, whether it's a gable or a hip, and you can also find out the materials that are used on that and use those for takeoffs as well to figure out material quantities. Typically you're going to see all kinds of different material listings on elevations. You can also get a very clear representation of what the windows and doors look like and how they fit in with the plan. There's also going to be notes, general notes on there that apply to the elevations, and it's a real good place to be able to see the building heights and elevations. So to look at those a little bit further, we go to our elevation drawings, and the first one that we see is on sheet A102, and it's our east elevation. So this is a pretty basic elevation. There's not a tremendous amount of detail shown on it. It's basically for code approval. I could have shown the detail of vertical siding on here, but instead I just have a note that says vertical siding to match existing siding. So in reality, for permit drawings, I need to list what the finished material is going to be, and I did that in this case. I did that with this new asphalt shingles as well. And down here I'm showing that the face of the foundation is going to be covered with a Comproco or fibered cement parge. So talk about finishes. It also shows a representation of what the doors will look like, and it'll have the corresponding door symbol. I can see how the existing roof and the new roof tie together. This is the new roof here. I can see how the fascias line up, how the soffits, the eaves line up. I can see that there's an overhang on this side. Down here with the dimensions, I can see, this is kind of hard to see, but right here I can see that the finished grade line runs across here, and my footing is going to be at least 3 feet 7 below finished grade. I can see the total overall height of the building approximately, or the new addition approximately. I can also see that the foundation is going to be made out of CMUs, and then I'm going to have a footing here, and I'm going to have a footing here, and apparently what's going on here is I have basically three different levels within this. So this part back here is the existing building, the existing house, and it has a crawl space on this section that is basically this high from that point to the underside of the floor level. There's another part of the house that has full basement, and that is shown behind, and this would be the top of the basement, or the bottom, the basement level. And then the new has a crawl space, and basically we probably would have did the same height crawl space as this, but I wanted to make sure that it was at least 3 feet 7, 3 foot 6, somewhere in that vicinity below frost level. So other things in the foundation, or in elevations, you can see these right here. So this symbol right here indicates that we're talking about the elevation of something. So there's two different ways that you can do this. The first way is the way that we have shown here, where I start out with an established elevation height. It's 0. So at this point right here, this is 0 feet 0 inches, and that's really going to represent the floor level. And then everything that I do works off of that. So the new roof line, or where the trusses would sit on top of the wall, is going to be 8 feet 1 1/8 inch above 0, or above that first floor, subfloor level, and then we work everything backwards from there. The other way to do this you'll see on a lot of commercial jobs is you'll have an actual elevation. So it may be, and that elevation corresponds to its height above sea level. So it might be something like 1,124 feet, 0.56 feet above sea level, and then everything will work off of that number. Add to it, subtract to it. So here's another example of an elevation, and again we just have some notes on here to clarify things about the eave, the soffit, the fascia height. Again, we're calling out the siding. Again, you can see the new windows on this location. You can see both slopes are 412. This is our slope, roof slope symbol. And our last elevation, now the significance between this one and the previous, these were at 1/4 inch equals a foot scale. This elevation is at an 1/8, and really the only thing that's being shown here is the new window and the new door. So to get this to fit on the drawing, I bumped this down and scaled to half size, and it's still showing everything that it needs to show. So some elevations may have more detail. You could have the finishes of the roof, the finish of the siding. You could do that partially, or you could show that completely. I just didn't feel like it was necessary for what these elevations were trying to accomplish. So again, you may see some with more detail, maybe some with even less detail, but this is a pretty good indication of what an elevation looks like, the information that you would find on it, and how it's going to be used within the project. That pretty much wraps it up for exterior elevations. In the next video, video 5, we're going to talk about section drawings.